Uh, Hello, my name is Kien. My student code is 20062027. So today I'm gonna work with my partner is Xuan. Our first major is law and second degrees is English. I will let him introduce something about himself.
Thank you again. Hello, my name is Nguyen. My student code is 2006270, and these are our IDs. Okay,
Okay.
so today we will be performing two tasks of our final speaking exam, and task one is role play. Without any hesitation, let's get into task one. And in this task, Likian will be playing a person who is going to Hanoi to study, and I will be playing as his dad. So let's go.
Mm. Dad, there's something I need to tell you. It's about my stay in Hanoi.
Oh, okay, son. But I thought it has already been decided that you live at your aunt's house. Is
Um,
there anything wrong with their family?
they're all very friendly and I like them very much. But I just don't feel like it. I want to rent a room in Hanoi, somewhere that near my university.
Hmm. I don't think I can allow you to live alone like that, and I'm sure your mother would agree with me too.
But Dad, I have searched through hundreds of different options, and the one room that I found uh, has a very reasonable price.
It's not about the money, it's about your safety. We could rent a whole flat for you if you want to, but just think about it. All of your meals will be cooked by your aunt, which is a professional chef. That's way better than ordering fast food. And what if anything wrong happens? What if you get sick? No one would look after you. And or even worse, what if you get into trouble with bad people? No one would notice, and that worries me the most. I don't think I can allow that, and I still think that living with your aunt's family is the best choice.
Uh, I know that, but there is a lot of decent eateries nearby, and they have even have pharmacy right next to my place, so you don't have to worry if I ever get sick. And because of most of people who live near me are students, and nothing gonna bad happen. Also, it's only take 6 minutes to get to my university, and I'm a college student now. I need to be independent, and if I can't do it now, then when? Trust me, I can do it.
Perhaps I've been too harsh on you. You're right. You're the adult now, and so your decision should be valid. All right, you won't have to live with at your aunt's house anymore. But I still don't want you to live alone like that. Have you considered living in a dormitory? I mean, it would serve both of your needs of freedom and my worries of your safety, right?
Mm, I promise I will think about it, and I will give you and mom my decision soon. Thanks for always being supportive, Dad.
Mm, I'm happy that you have started standing on your own 2 feet, son.
Yes.
And this is the end of our task one and task two with discussion where we will be discussing about the topic of whether the city or the countryside is better for children to live. And first of all, I want to point out that I 100% agree with the idea of raising kids in the city. In fact, I think the closer to the central city we live, the better it is. How about you, Ken?
Personally, as someone who spent most their childhood in the countryside, I rather to let my kids live there than the complicated city area.
What makes you think the city is complicated?
It's hard to point out exactly every reason because it honestly that is too much of it. How about we compare them on some certain aspects so that you will get my idea?
That's a really good idea. It would also give me, as a city dweller, as you know, a broader view of what it's like to live in this countryside.
The biggest difference, in my opinion, is the atmospheres. What I mean is how one's emotions are affected by the place where they live. The countryside is always much more peaceful and less polluted than the cities. The people who live in the countryside are also calmer, happier, and friendlier.
That's true. And that's also the reason why many people like to live in the countryside more than the city. But as I grew up in one of the biggest cities in Vietnam, I found the busyness of the city life quite beautiful. I mean, the streets are always crowded with people because there are so many different ways to entertain oneself. And the lampposts stay on up until the morning, so it never truly feels like the city is asleep. And what you don't have in the countryside, we have it all here. Surely you want your kids to have everything they need to grow up, right?
Yeah. That's true. I guess the city life is indeed more adequate than the countryside. But that make me wonder, what about the cost of living? It's matter of fact that its cost of living is usually much higher than the countryside.
I don't think it's that much different.
Okay then, how much would a kilogram of apple cost you?
A kilogram of apple, I think it maybe cost me around 50 to 60K, I guess.
Mm, it would cost me almost nothing back in my hometown.
Wait, really? How?
Yes, we have some apple trees in my grandfather's garden.
Oh,
That was that what I was trying to tell you about the food price in the countryside is a lot cheaper since most people can be self-sustained. Many other aspects of our life, like the electric bill or housing price, and especially the tuition fees, are also a lot cheaper. Raising a kid should not cost that much, and it could be delusional to say that kids who grow up in the countryside are less intelligent or less smart than those who live in the city.
and I think it's true, and I also agree to that idea. Well, I guess it's really hard to decide which place is better for children because both of these places has its own opportunities and obstacles. But I think that this would soon change because the modernizations just keeps on progressing, and at this rate, about 10 or 20 years later, there would be no village or countryside left. People would move move to the city to get better jobs or better life.
Yeah,
So I think, yeah.
yes. I think the modernization could keep progressing. So my kid could probably grow up in the city too.
Well, don't worry. By that time, we have already had enough knowledge to teach them what's wrong and what's right. So
Mm,
I think it's important that we know uh, from now on how to prepare for our kids to grow up in the city.
yes. Thank you.
So this is the end of our second task of our final speaking exam, and thank you for listening.
Thank you.